Hello, everybody. I went mad at Hatter's Tea Shop in Georgetown, Massachusetts. Well, I went mad long before that. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read word for word of what we got on my application, essay for Vermont Law School's remote program. Okay, and this was written several years ago. I think 2021 is when I wrote this. But I just want to read it now because it definitely still rings true. So, goals that motivate me to pursue law. At age 52, having raised 2 children to adulthood, my goal for the remainder of my career and life is to establish a multi-state, private, not-for-profit law practice providing qualified mental health commitment defense counsel to anyone facing involuntary psychiatric confinement, guardianship, and/or conservatorship proceedings. Vermont Law School is a leader in public interest law, and the opportunity to continue my work as a peer specialist in the mental health field in New England while attending Vermont's new hybrid online program is a perfect fit for these goals, which emerged through firsthand experience with mental health litigation. When I was 6 years old in 1975, my mother had my father committed to a local psychiatric facility in New Orleans as part of their separation, custody, and divorce battles. Later in life, she did the same thing to me in 2011 when I was 41, which led to the loss of custody of my own children in Massachusetts. As different as the laws are from state to state, the ease with which mental health can be weaponized in family court, especially by those with clinical qualifications, is astonishing, and I swore that if I were ever freed from that facility, I would find a way to free others and to reunite parents and children separated due to the system. The 4-way intersection of family law, criminal law, mental health law, and disability law, all fatally lacking in yield signs, is a landscape of infinite opportunity to advocate for justice for parents and children, making a difference in mental health law. I have made a difference in the field of mental health over the past 2 years by becoming certified as a peer specialist and recovery coach. Building upon this, I enrolled in law school in 2020 to merge these professional areas into a niche practice. In order to make a difference nationally, I withdrew from my original law school, which was state accredited, and took the LSAT 3 times to gain admittance to an ABA accredited law school that would allow me to continue my work in the field of mental health peer support while pursuing my law degree primarily online. When I received an email from Vermont Law today announcing that the online hybrid program was up and running, I knew it was critical to apply right away so that I may resume my legal studies as soon as fall 2022. And I'm recording this in fall 2024, so clearly still got work to do. Academic work since graduation from high school. I graduated from high school in 1987 and earned my bachelor's degree in 1991. Between 1991 and 2019, my classroom experience was limited to work-related trainings. In 2019, I enrolled in a series of courses to obtain certification as a recovery coach. In 2020, I enrolled in a competitive process to achieve certifications by the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health and the University of Pennsylvania, shout out, as a certified peer specialist, CPS, and a certified older adult peer specialist, COAPS, COAPS, respectively. While the recovery coach coursework was attendance-based and I paid fees to take the classes, the peer support certifications were highly competitive, tuition-free, and required a standardized exam, which only about 70% of students pass on the first attempt. Knowing this, and knowing that the lead instructors had taken the exam 3 times each before passing, I started a Zoom study group, which met nightly for 2 hours during the month between the end of the training classes and the date of the exam. I and everyone who attended our study group consistently passed the exam on the first attempt. Many of our classmates who were inconsistent did not pass the exam and had to retake it. Part of our coursework was a module called Creating the Life One Wants. In practicing to use this module in our workplaces, we paired up to work through the module with one another. Through this exercise with a classmate, I discovered that at age 50, I had never let go of the goal of law school, which my own life circumstances had made unattainable immediately after college. Within a month after passing my peer specialist exam, I was enrolled at Massachusetts School of Law at Andover, which is regionally accredited and does not require any standardized test scores. During the 2020 to 2021 academic year, we studied 95% remotely. And so I again started a Zoom study group that met 3 to 4 evenings per week for 2 to 3 hours. The same consistent study practices that led to me practicing the peer specialist exam on the first try also helped me to achieve a 3.23 cumulative grade point average in my first year of law school at a school that proudly grades on a C curve. Most schools grade on an A curve. To get a 3.23 at Massachusetts School of Law, I had to jump through hoops my big fat ass couldn't normally fit through, but I did it. Inconsistencies and reasons. My only C grade during my undergraduate studies at Boston University was in a communications law class called Rights and Risks of Reporting, which was required of all journalism majors. I had to take the law class at the graduate level with a mixture of master's, PhD, and JD students in order to accommodate my full-time work schedule because I paid my way through the final 3 semesters of college, allowing me to graduate debt-free. That law class was brutal, not because of the diminishing effect it had on my undergraduate GPA, but because it was an awakening of the many restrictions of the free, sick press, a lifelong misnomer I had assumed too literally. My journalism career ended in fear before it even began because I knew the kind of writer I wanted to be. And in those days, I was too afraid of getting in the type of legal trouble muckrakers often do. So I decided instead to work in other areas of communication where I would not be risking a defamation minefield every time my fingertips hit the keyboard. Shout out to Brittany Dream Corville for doing it anyway, even though she knew the risks she was taking. She did it anyway. And God bless you, Brittany. Brittany Dream, Brittany Jean, all the Brittnys. God bless all y'all. Fast forward to spring 2021, when I studied defamation again as part of my second semester 1L class, my second semester 1L torts class. As one of the owls, aka older, wiser legal scholars, I knew defamation would not be the kryptonite it had been for me 3 decades prior. I chose defamation as the topic for the mandatory Flipgrid video presentation submitted at the end of the semester. This quality project, as well as strong performances throughout the semester, led to an A+ in torts. Sadly, I was too exhausted from the production of the video that I failed my online legal research and writing final exam, which lowered my final grade in that class from an A- to a C. While many of my classmates successfully petitioned to retake the exam, I decided to move forward by enrolling in the June 2021 LSAT. My LSAT scores. I only had about 3 weeks between my last final and my first LSAT. Though I studied daily during those 3 weeks with some classmates who had also decided to withdraw and apply to ABA accredited schools, I did not achieve my hoped-for score of 155 on the first try, and so I canceled my score. I was admitted as a transfer student without a reportable LSAT score to both University of Massachusetts at Dartmouth and Suffolk University, but I could not find a way to commute to either school from my home near the New Hampshire border. After initially being denied fall 2021 admittance to the online hybrid program at University of New Hampshire Franklin Pierce, I retook the LSAT in November 2021 and scored a 155 without having practiced since the prior summer. I then enrolled in an intensive daily live online LSAT preparation class. Shout out LSAT Demon. Not a fan of demons, but love you, mean it. And I achieved a 163 LSAT score by January 22. This puts me about the 75th percentile of Vermont Law School. All right, so that's the end of that, but that wasn't the end of my LSAT journey. In August of 2022, I received a 174 score on the LSAT, which puts me in the 99th percentile. So what I want to say to people, if you are thinking of going to law school, I mean, I think standardized tests sucks and maybe they'll eliminate them, But if you are going to even consider taking the LSAT, please, please, please get a free LSAT Demon account and practice on it and see how you like it. If you do like it, consider doing the top tier for 1 month. I think it's probably, back when I did it, was around $395 a month. It might be higher now, but it's so worth it because their whole motto is don't pay for law school. And I went from getting, like basically like admitted without scholarships to getting 100%, 85%, scholarships to way better schools. And that's why I was supposed to be at Villanova Law School in August of 2023. And I was actually supposed to be staying at the Radnor Hotel where Mr. Brandon Margera was arrested. And if I had been there when he was there, we could have saved a lot of freaking problems, right? So, love you, Minnie K. Bye. And remember, tomorrow is World Kindness Day. So let's please be kind to one another. And it's also the matching day. So anything you give to GoFundMe, whether it's BJ's GoFundMe's or someone else's, is going to be matched 100%. So if you give $5, the person gets $10. If you give $100, the person gets $200, etc., etc. And so I want to see BJ complete her 2 GoFundMe's, get over her goal on both of those, and then close them down so she can move forward in her life. And, hopefully Lima will quit making frivolous, meritless, vexatious, bogus lawsuits, and we can all move forward with our lives. That said, I guess Jamie Gilmore is live now, so I'm going to go check that out. Bye!